Well, good morning to you. Happy Monday. I am gonna drink my coffee. It is first thing Monday morning, almost. And you guys, none of you are here yet, but you will be in a second. Do you see what my hair is doing? It is like doing this crazy flyaway annoyingness. But I have something very important to discuss with you, and that is that we are T-minus 6 days from Mother's Day, and we need to make a Mother's Day card because Mother's Day is coming. And I don't know about you, but my mom is always like, oh, don't make me, or don't buy me anything, make me something. And that terrifies me for so many reasons, but the main reason is that when I go to make my mom something, I don't know about you, but I always screw it up. Like I can make for a million different people, but when I go to make something for my mom, inevitably I screw it up. It never turns out the way that I want it. I'm trying to find my paper, you guys. So is this? Yeah, here we go. So today we are going to focus on making Mother's Day cards, but not just any Mother's Day card. We are going to make a very unique kind of Mother's Day card, and it's going to be awesome. So I hope you guys are ready to follow along. And it's actually going to be 2 parts. So I was kind of hoping to sit here and like blabber for a few minutes while everybody starts getting on. Because I know sometimes my regulars take a few minutes to be notified that I'm on and get on themselves. This is a jar from last night. I'm just moving over because I forgot to get some fresh water in that one. So I'm going to start by just taping down my paper. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're actually going to cut this up. So I'm not super concerned about this being perfect. And we are just gonna, it doesn't even need to span the whole width of the edges. It just needs to hold it down because it's going to be wet. Now, my mom is a big lover of all things red and all things hummingbirds. I don't know about you, but my mom is. And so I am going to kind of do a wash on this whole thing. And it's going to have reds and yellows because that's kind of her thing. And it's going to kind of mesh into oranges. So I got my little turtle. Jimothy's over here somewhere. Oh, here's little baby Jimothy. And I'm also going to bring in this palette over here, which has my Indian Yellow Deep. It's a little dirty from using it on another project I've been working on. So I'm just going to use this paper towel to kind of clean it up a little bit. I'll just move that off to the side. So what I'm going to do first is grab my Princeton Heritage number 3/4 Neptune number. It's not a number. It's just a size 3/4. And I'm going to get this nice and wet. And I am going to just wet the paper. Now, this isn't the greatest of papers, so it's going to dry fast. It's not going to behave as nice as the Arches watercolor paper. That's okay, because we're not looking for perfection. We're making a card for our mothers. And our mothers know that we are not perfect because they raised us. So, yeah. Now, if you want it to be perfect, well, you might want to use Arches. But we're going to cut this up. So we kind of want some more imperfections and some of the qualities. All right, let me grab a paper towel. And I'm going to just dry that off. And I'm going to go in with my Princeton Heritage number 12. And I'm going to grab some of this. This is Daniel Smith Perilene Scarlet. And I'm just going to start dropping red kind of all over the place. No really rhyme or reason to it. I want some lighter areas, some darker areas. And then I'm going to rinse that brush off, and I'm going to grab Indian Yellow Deep. And I'm going to drop that in some areas. I know it looks a little ketchup and mustardy right now. Totally fine. All right, and now what I'm going to do is grab some more of that red, and I'm going to start splattering it. If it goes everywhere, you'll just look a little bloody, that's all. It's all good. Hey, Mom, look, I bled for you. She'll be like, goody goody. Do you know how much I bled for you, dear? Okay, then we're going to rinse that off, and we're going to grab that yellow and do the same thing. Splatter, splatter, splatter. Okay, so we've got some splatters on there. That's good, that's great and all. Now we want to start mixing a little to make it a little bit orange in some places. So I'm going to grab some more of this red, and I'm just going to start kind of encouraging some of these whiter areas to blend in with some of these yellow areas. I'm not going to do all of them because I'm going to go in with the yellow and encourage that to blend with some of the red areas. All right, so now let's take some yellow and start doing this. And let's see, just keep going like this. Now, if I was a smart woman, I would have done this on a clipboard so that I could tilt my paper. But I am not smart this time of morning. Because as you can see, my coffee is still full. I haven't drank it yet. That's okay. What I am going to do is take this, and I'm just going to push some of that around while it dries. That's not doing as much as I had hoped, so I'm going to lift. I'm not going to tear the, I'm not going to take the tape off the paper yet, but I am going to lift this, slide my finger under here, and I am going to just lift the tape off the table so I can encourage it to flow this way. And now you can see all the paint is going to flow this way. Give that just a minute. Probably not a minute, like 10 seconds or so. And then we're going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go this way with it. Probably this way with it too, because I feel like we're losing some of the red in there. But I also don't really want to cover up that yellow. So we're going to take this back here. We'll press this down whilst wiping. Okay, that can go down there. This can get pushed down on this side. And this can get pushed down here. All right, and then while that is still wet, I'm gonna grab some more of that red and just add some darker areas here. Just so we keep some of that nice and dark, because I know my mom loves her some red. She wears red lipstick and it doesn't move. We call her a vampire because of that. All right, and then just one last little thing. So because I don't want that line and that line to stay like that, I'm gonna take just this little guy here, and I'm just gonna spray to get it moving. And now I'm just gonna dry it. And then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. And I'm going to sit here and drink my coffee while we do that. That way I can be a little smarter for the day. Now the top of the paper is still, or is dry, but I can tell that the paper itself is not completely dry because it's still a bit buckled. When it lays down more flat, which is why we tape it, is how we know that it is going to be dry. So that's what we're doing here. All right, that should be about good. All right, now I don't mind if this rips the paper because again, we're going to be cutting this up. So I'm just going to take the tape off. All right, so now what we're going to do is chop it up a bit. So you don't have to do exactly what I'm going to be doing here. And it's really all dependent on what you think your mom will like. So you can cut this into hearts. You can cut this into circles. You can cut this into butterflies. It doesn't matter. You just cut it into whatever you think your mom's going to like. I'm kind of on the fence. I have some like, see, you can see the water underneath it right here from drying it. I have some of those punches in different shapes. Like one of mine is a big circle. I have some smaller circles. You could also get out like a one of those cutting mats and cut by hand. You could use stencils to also cut by hand. Lots of different things you can do there. What I think I am going to do is just use some scissors and cut some shapes. So to do that, I'm going to grab a pencil. And let me see here. I want to try to find something that is about the shape that I want to cut. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I got a great idea. So I do polymer clay too. And I have a bunch of polymer clay cutters. And I would bet that I have a heart that I can use, or a bird, or something that my mom would like. So let me grab that, and we can use that as our shape. Just gotta find it in my giant pile of shapes. Let's see. I have so much stuff piled on top of it, you guys. It's ridiculous. All right, so let's just carefully remove all this crap. And then I will grab this box. Everything's full, and that's okay. All right. We got that box. Good morning, Gail. How are you this Monday morning? All right. So we have so much to choose from. This would also be a pretty interesting shape. Oh yeah, the little turtle. Isn't it so cute? it is. Here's the heart. There we go. I think we'll just use the heart. My mom won't care either way. She'll just be like, oh, that's so cute. Yeah. Although we could also do a butterfly. She does like butterflies. I think I have a butterfly. I don't think she'd appreciate my dragons though. I'm good this morning. I am sipping on my coffee, so I'm starting to wake up a bit. Hopefully this isn't too loud for you guys. I do have this butterfly shape that I could just turn around. So I have like both sides, so that might be an option. Just trying to decide. We are making a Mother's Day card, and just trying to decide what shape I want here. Okay, so let me show you what I've got pulled aside. By the way, at some point I am going to do some polymer clay tutorials on this. Here, cheers for coffee. Yeah, I was like, you know what? T-minus 6 days to Mother's Day. I need to do something for my mom. I know she's going to say, don't buy me anything. And every time I go to make my mom something for Mother's Day, inevitably I mess it up. So I'm getting a head start on messing something up for her. So here we go. So we got this. We got a couple different ideas here. I have these two like wings. Butterfly wings. So what I could in theory do is trace around here all over the place. And then we could, essentially what I'm going to do is cut them out, create a card, and then layer them on the card in kind of an adorable way. You could do that with hearts as well. I have this lunar moth one, but she doesn't really care about that. I also have this one, but I think I'm going to go for these because I think this is really cute. The only thing I'll need to be aware of is that because these are, you know, clay cutters, technically the body of the butterfly would need to go like this so that the wings, you know, are the same. So probably what I'll do is just go down and draw each one here and then place this over the body of this, and then so that way when you fold it in half, it's not weird. Exactly. By the way, I did relay your message to my mom. She said you're welcome. Let's see here. Actually, you know what? I might turn it over and do it this way. That way it's just a little bit larger. I mean, she said a bunch of other stuff too, like how sweet and all that stuff. But I honestly don't remember exactly what she said. I should have written it down, but yeah. So I'm just going to go through here. I am going to mark with a pencil where I would like to cut. You don't need to make the pencil mark super dark, just dark enough for you to be able to see. But you want to be able to erase it in case you end up not cutting it. That way you don't have it as an edge on there. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this one and go over this like this and trace around this one. There we go. Now it may not line up perfectly, and that's okay. It, again, anytime I try to do something that's perfect for my mom, it's never, ever, ever perfect. I would argue that anytime I try to make something for my mom, I screw it up so bad because it's for my mom, and she's just used to it at this point. And of course, she says she loves it anyway. Actually, we have a joke, my sister-in-law and I, Lenny G, where we'll go and we'll buy her something super ugly and give it to her like we are for real, giving her like, you know, something truly special from our hearts, because she's so funny about how she is so graceful in accepting it. And we're always like, geez, Mom, you really think we'd get you this? Like, come on. But it's just funny to see what kind of words she comes up with to try to, like, you know, say something like, oh, this is so artful, or I love the colors and the shapes, you know. Yeah, I'm just going to use scissors, I think. Joke gifts are fab. She loves you so much. She does. I love my mama. But yeah, one year we got her this really ugly thing. I wish Lindsay was on right now. I'm going to text her real quick and see if she can get on real quick. Let's see here. Can you get on my live? Question mark. Okay. Anyway, we got her this really big, ugly, like, you know how some people are really into like the sun, moon, and star things, and you can go to like Home Goods or any number of, you know, stores like that, and sometimes they'll have decor that's like made out of like metal that's supposed to resemble sun, moon, and stars and that sort of thing. So we were at this place that we had in town called Old Time Pottery, and I think they may have closed, actually. Let me see if she's going to be on here. I don't know if she read it or not. We'll see. And my mom is notoriously difficult to buy for. She's one of those people that, like, she doesn't really have any hobbies. She just, at the time, would work all the time. And she was a nurse practitioner, so she's always interested in science and medicine and that sort of thing. She has her science journals. There's only so many books you can buy her to read because she only has so much time to read it. She's retired now, so she's expanded outward a little bit in the things like, you know, trying to get hobbies and stuff. But before that, there was like really nothing. And so we were talking about like how she's impossible to buy for because, you know, she doesn't have any hobbies. And we were like, hey, what if we got her something like really ugly and tried to give it to her, like as if it were something that were like really from our hearts? No, she won't journal. She doesn't journal. That's the thing. Like, you could give me any example in the world and I will give you exactly the reason why my mom won't use it. She doesn't journal. For a while, she did pickleball after she retired. And then she stopped. At one point, after she retired, she had taken up reading all the books that we had gotten her over the years. And I made her for Christmas, I did like a box full of reading for a year. No, she doesn't care about magnets. She doesn't put anything on her fridge. I'm telling you, my mom is like a surgical suite. Very bright, but very clean. Very much like black and white, no middle ground. Like, yeah. Red lipstick, blonde hair that doesn't move even in the wind. It's hysterical. So, anyway, I had made her this box where I had bought her a book to read every month for the next year. And it was all books I thought she would enjoy. And I think she still has some left to go, but this has been a couple of years ago. And I think she's still trying to work her way through it, but I think she got bored with it. I don't know. Yeah, so we're like, you know what, she's so difficult to buy for that why don't we get her this really ugly sun, moon, and star thing that we knew she would not, it would not go with her house. Like, my mom is so difficult to buy for. Like, even her house is all beige. Everything in her house is beige. Everything is clean. Nothing. Oh, okay, Linny, you're here. Yes. Okay, Lindsay, we are talking about how my mom is so difficult to buy for. And so we're doing a Mother's Day card today. And I was telling them about the time you and I went to Old Time Pottery and decided to get her those. Yeah, because these are my mom's colors, right? And so we went to Old Time Pottery and we got her that really ugly sun, moon, and star thing as a joke. And we gave it to her, like all serious and stuff. And my Aunt Bambi was in town, her sister and her sister's husband at the time. So we had like this nice dinner for Mother's Day out on my back porch. The weather was beautiful. And yes, she has that video. But my mom has this way, so you can back me up here, Lindsay. She has this way of just like trying to like be kind and gentle and find something good in everything, even if she absolutely hates whatever it is that you've given her. Yeah, Lindsay, if you can share that video with me, I can post it. She will say it's the best present ever she's ever received. But yeah, she just says like, it's so artful and colorful and I love the shapes and I love this and that and the other. And it's so funny. And then of course we let her think that that's her gift for like, you know, we just let her go on and on about it. And then of course we're like, Mom, are you freaking kidding? And then she's like, thank God, it's so ugly. But she's like, but it's a gift from your hearts, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's so funny. But meanwhile, she's barfing inside. Yeah, my mom is a hottie. Yeah. My mom is like 105 pounds. She does not look her age whatsoever. She's going to be 69 in October. She doesn't have a freaking wrinkle on her. She's fit and in shape. Like I said, bleach blonde hair, red lipstick. And, yeah. But Lindsay, yeah, I told them that we call her a vampire. She does. She looks younger than us. Yeah. She looks younger than us. And, I'm pretty sure she's going to outlive us, but I told them how her hair doesn't move in the wind and her lipstick never moves either. I know. And she hates garlic. She says she hates garlic, but I put garlic in everything and she's never complained and she eats it like she loves it. And so come on. But Lindsay, I was also telling them how she's like impossible to buy for. Like really difficult. Like, and I was telling her, I know, right? I was telling them how her house is all beige. Everything is beige. I said, my mom is very like black and white. She's like a surgical suite because she's all bright. Everything is clean. Nothing's out of place. Like everything in her house is beige. Beige, 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 beige. Okay, but you're allergic to garlic, Charlie. There's the difference there. You can't have it. My mom just pretends like she doesn't like it, but she really does. I remember there was one time I was like so offended because, and I don't get offended by much, but I was so offended because like my mom was never a good cook, like at all, like disgusting. Like she, growing up, would feed us like the strangest food sometimes. And like my mom grew up very poor. Yeah, Lindsay's right. My mom grew up very, very poor, had an alcoholic father. Just, you know, not a great upbringing. Her mother was very kind and of course did everything for them. And anyway, long story short, my mom never really, you know, had the luxury of, you know, amazing home cooked meals or anything. So she never really learned how to cook beyond, you know, canned stuff and instant stuff. And so we had meals like pretty much everything was over like, what's it called? You know, instant potatoes, but not like the Idaho spuds that are actually made with potatoes. Like flaked potatoes. These were like fake flakes of potatoes that were like, gotta get Jen a tapper. These were like the kind that look like potatoes, but they don't taste or smell like potatoes. And it's like eating glue, essentially. And she would buy canned salmon with the crunchy bones in it and put it on top of these disgusting potatoes. And that would be what was for dinner. Now, she did have a couple of things that were good. She had this baked chicken she used to make where she would put seasoned salt over the top of the skin and bake it. It would crisp up real nice. That was good. And she had some pork chops that she used to make that she'd cook in the cream of mushroom soup. And then she'd top it with some canned pineapple, and that was good. But aside from that, everything was like cut up hot dogs in those nasty wannabe potatoes. So anyway, yeah, and she doesn't cook like ever because vampires don't eat normal food. It's true. Canned salmon, not just canned salmon with crunchy bones. Crunchy bones. And I remember she'd be like, it's got the crunchy bones. And then on the can it would be say, with crunchy bones. Like, wah! And she did do some like barfaroni stuff. I call it barfaroni, but I know people actually like beefaroni. And so anyway, but my dad, he did a little bit of cooking, but he wasn't much better. He made the driest roasts known to man. And then after I grew up and started actually learning to cook and cooking really well, then I taught him how to actually make a roast that didn't suck. So he tries so hard to make a roast that doesn't suck. And I still don't totally understand how he still screws it up, but he does. But it's okay. I love my dad and my mom. So anyway, all right, so let me just show you this really quick and I'll continue on with my offensive story. Okay, so I cut out this little butterfly here. I erased the pencil in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is take like this little bone folder when it's time. And I'm going to just like make a little line down the center so that I can fold it in half like this. And then I'm going to glue it on the bottom to the card. So, which we have not made yet. So don't feel like you've missed anything. Yeah. So anyway, so my mom at one point, after us kids kind of grew up and were either already like working and not home for dinners, or some of us were already grown, but still living at home, but you know, taking care of ourselves essentially. She would stop at Taco Bell most nights of the week and just get herself Taco Bell for dinner. And, it got to a point where like she was so used to Taco Bell that the idea of having like real tacos was like gross to her. And so I had moved away, I had gotten married, moved away to Chicago. After I moved back, you know, I had become quite the cook because, when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't like the food up there because it was just so different from what I had grown up with. And by grown up with, I don't mean like gross stuff and make a run for the border. And anyway, I was like, you know, I'm going to teach myself how to cook, and I'm going to cook really well. And my husband and I are going to eat food at home that tastes good, that, you know, is not garbage. And I just felt like the food in Chicago at the time didn't have any flavor. And I think it was just, you know, a palate change. And by palate change, I don't mean that I was used to my mom's cooking, because at that point I was pretty much eating out all the time anyway, because I had a job and I could afford it, and I was living at home and I could afford it. But then I moved out and got married and we couldn't afford it. So anyway, point is, I taught myself how to cook. And by taught myself, I mean, I had a Rachel Ray book at the time, and that expanded on a lot of things. And I ended up with so many more cookbooks and became a good cook. And so I moved back, and we were going to do something as a family. And I was like, oh, well, how about I cook tacos for dinner? And my mom was like, no. And it was just like the way she said it. And I don't remember exactly like the look on her face, but it was just like She didn't want tacos. She didn't want anything I suggested that I could make. And it was like, she said something like she would rather eat Taco Bell if we were going to have tacos. And I was like, so let me get this straight. You would rather eat tacos from Taco Bell that at the time had just come out in the news that their meat wasn't 100% meat. It was like mostly filler or whatever. And I was like, you would rather eat Taco Bell's filler meat than something that your daughter makes with actual ground beef and actual seasonings that you actually know what's going into it, then you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I mean? Anyway, so I was like, whatever, Mom. And she learned to be less fussy over time. And she'll tell you that she doesn't salt her food and she doesn't like salt in her food. She likes salt in her food, guys. She doesn't like additional salt on her food. She doesn't understand that every time she goes out to eat, they salt the food before they cook it. And so thereby when, you know, some people are really book smart and some people that are really book smart are not as intuitive on stuff that's not book smart, and my mom is one of those people. We should go to Taco Bell for lunch. I don't know if it was worms. I think a lot of it was like corn and some other stuff, but anyway, so she doesn't like understand the concept of like salting food before it's cooked, because everything is salted before it's cooked when you go to a restaurant. And so she's like, I don't salt my food. I don't like salt on my food. Just like she doesn't supposedly like garlic. Yet she loves fettuccine Alfredo. What do you think that's made of? And so anyway, yeah, I don't even remember where I was going with that. My mind is just laughing about so much right now. But yes, Lindsay, so that's why I wanted you to get on my live this morning, because I wanted you to back me up on all of this, because it sounds so obscure and far-fetched, but you know it because you've been in our family now for what, almost a decade. Ooh, protein. Eating tacos to your mom. Yeah, I don't know when the last time she ate Taco Bell was, but after my dad retired, she made him start cooking, and she would get really annoyed because he wasn't a good cook, and she'd come home after like a 12-hour day at the hospital, and like what she would get was like not good, and she's like, I don't even have a meal I can look forward to. I'm like, well, there is a Taco Bell on your way home. There's like 50 of them. So she's like, I know, but I don't want to insult your dad that way. I was like, okay, well, you can't have it both ways. All right, hang on. Let me see. I'm going to look this up. Let me move this. Taco Bell meat ingredients. From I think this was around 2012. Let's see here. Following a 2011 lawsuit and subsequent 2012 era refinements, Taco Bell disclosed its seasoned beef recipe as 88% beef and 12% signature recipe ingredients. The mixture includes USDA inspected beef water and seasonings and thickeners like cellulose and modified cornstarch. See, that's not what I remember. That is not at all what I remembered. Hang on, let me click on this. Yeah, I remember it being much less than that. And that's why there was a lawsuit. Yeah, the lawsuit stated that only 35% of the ingredients were actually beef, and the other 65 were some unknown mixture of mystery. let's see here, and this is according to PBS. And then Taco Bell retorted by saying their products contained 88% beef. Hang on, still reading. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have to look at it more, but either way, you know, the secret 12%. I don't know what it was, but my mom sure as heck liked it. Oh gosh, Lindsay's gonna start in on the Totino's pizza. Guys, we got time. I'm just cutting out butterflies. I'm not even sure we're gonna use all these butterflies, but we'll see. Oh, they're still around, Gail. By the way, Lindsay, cat mama is Gail. She told me her name. I felt so special. Also, by the way, just a side note, if you don't want to cut these out by hand and you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, you absolutely could use that. Mine broke, and I still have my old one, but I'm too lazy. I get angry every time I use my Cricut, so I'm not looking to be angry right now. I'm just vibing with my butterflies. You're welcome. Lindsay, you're missing out. It's like $1.50 at Walmart. That's $1.50 too much. But yes, Charlie, I agree. You can never have too many butterflies. I can already feel these scissors starting to rub a blister into my hand. So I might switch to my X-Acto knife here in a sec. Apparently my cutting ability is that weak. Yeah, right there. See it? Yes, this is actually a card for my mom. I am on top of it this year. I am ahead of the game. Can you believe it? I know I can't. I was like, I will inevitably screw something up, and I'm going to be prepared to have time to fix what I inevitably screw up. Actually, these are some really sharp scissors. These are my Fiskars. I don't let anybody use my Fiskars. I don't even use my Fiskars for most things. Now this might end up needing to be replaced, the blade. We'll see. Move that That or my skin is just very pansy-like. So, Lindsay, X-Acto knife help, yep. Lindsay, do you want to tell everybody about my mom after she retired and the BPSP? I told you, she does not have any hobbies. Her life was literally medicine. And taking care of people. Oh my gosh. I wish I could say that that wasn't true, but it is. And then every time I would see a new sign pop up in the area our neighborhood is in, I would tell her, I was like, Mom, BPSP. Gonna need you to be on it. And her, yeah, and her and my dad would go. I know. Yep. My mom is a badass. She also took it upon herself to complain about a few things related to the roadways. Because there's this one area that I travel on every day that doesn't have a barricade wall because it's a really old road. And it is pretty dangerous if you think about it, because there's like a really deep ravine that if you drove off the road, you'd definitely die if your car went down there. It's right before like an overpass. And good morning, Laurel. I hope you're enjoying. We've had some really fun conversations this morning about my mom. Yep, BPSP, Bartram Park sign, police or patrol or something. But yeah, so she called to complain about that. But they still haven't done anything about it. It's been like over a year since she complained about that. But I know they're planning like a road project there. And I thought they were going to do something about it by now because they've already widened the road over there, but they haven't done anything with the overpass yet. So whatever, but it's on the way to my kids' school every day. But yes, I'm trying to think what other quirky things my mom has taken up since she retired. Maybe, Lindsay, you can think of some stuff that I'm missing. Yeah, she's still the sign collector for sure. Nobody liked your ideas. I think I missed something. Oh, yeah, we were. No, we were. A side job through the church yesterday. Why did she not tell me about this? What is she doing? Is she making people stay off their lawns? Is she the lady that gets to put the signs up on like a lit background with quirky statements? Or is she actively making sure that they don't find out who Florida Jen is because I'll embarrass her? Because let's face it, churches don't like Jen. Which is unfortunate because Jen is good people, but Jen does not like to be put in a box, and that's what churches like to do to Jen. And when Jen doesn't fit in that box, churches like to reject Jen. My finger's hurting. Oh, that's not a side job at the church. That's the Red Hat Society. All right, I might go back and forth between the scissors and the X-Acto knife. Yeah, the Red Hat Society. That's like an old lady thing, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's like a retired lady. I say old lady thing, and I don't mean that as an insult, because truly I am an old lady at heart. And I've said that since I was like a teenager. I think, though, it's for women who are retired who still wants to have adventure, but like safety in numbers sort of thing. And so she was going to go on some boat dinner cruise thing, but it turned out there was a wait list. So she was hoping to end up on that cruise at some point in St. Augustine. My dad is, for those of you that don't know, is 10 years older than my mom. So he'll be turning 79 in August. And, you know, it definitely has its challenges when you're 10 years apart at certain stages of life. And it's like he's already been retired for 10 years. And, you know, his idea of going and traveling is not her idea, or is not what he wants to be doing at this stage in his life. So he will go and do to some extent, but he doesn't want to go and do the way she wants to go and do. And so, you know, she's got to find a way to be able to do that and maintain her independence that way. Okay, that butterfly sucks, but whatever. Let's see here. She will watch the first service, then head down to the nursing home for the second service. Oh. The Red Hat Society. I always think of Handmaid's Tale. No, Mom, you don't have a uterus. You can't be part of the Red Hat Society. You have to be the Brown Hat Society. You have to be one of the Lydias. I forget what they're called. No, she just started a job at the church. She will watch the first service, then head. Okay. Yep, old lady for me, an old lady. It's not really a job, but it's a volunteer. Okay. They are great for staying active with other ladies. She needs to keep him active. My mom retired, then moved in with us. Oh. A Martha. No, it's not a Martha. Is it a Martha? I thought the Marthas were the ones that lived in the house and cooked. I'm talking about the ones that trained the handmaids. Lydia. Yeah, my mom tries to keep him active. My dad is very much happy being a sedentary, recluse, for lack of a better term. I know. Oh, ants. Yes. They were ants. Aunt Lydia. I need to watch The Testaments. I didn't realize it had like just come out recently, but my husband and I want to watch that. But our kids are always around now that they are older, and they always want to watch stuff with us, and they'll just hang out downstairs with us. Not that I hate that, but it's like, it used to be that they would just go upstairs and like, you know, watch shows on their tablet or whatever, to wind down on the weekends at night if they didn't have a friend over, they weren't doing anything, and then we could like catch up on our shows. But now, like, they're just hanging out with us downstairs, and we love that, but we just don't get to watch our shows anymore. I know. I love that you remembered that my dad writes, though. Are you serious, Lindsay? That's hysterical. Yeah, because he literally writes all the time. He's happy just, you know, writing all day and then napping and then having dinner with my mom and then going to bed at like 8. He gets up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and starts to write. All right, we got 3 more butterflies. We're almost done. I think he's put out 15 or 16 books now. Oh, hang on. I know, our kids do like us. It's weird. Yep. Yep. My dad is about to be 79. No, my mom's at the point now. She knows my dad's not going to change who he is. She's been his food police and exercise police for years, and she just is like, you know what? I'm not his mom. He already knows what he needs to do, and if he's not going to do it, I'm still going to go on with my life and, you know, live my life the way that I want to, and he's going to do what he's going to do. So they do take vacations and stuff, though, and they have a good time. They went on a cruise for their, Lindsay, remind me, was it their 45th or their 46th wedding anniversary this past February? I think it was their 45th. They were married in 1980, so I think it would have been their 46th. Was it 45? Maybe they were married in 1981. I thought it was 1980. I wish that were me. I'd love to spend more time on cruises, but, you know, unemployed freeloader here, just sitting around making cards for my mom and chatting on TikTok instead of getting a job. Oh, wait, I tried to do that for like 6 months. Now I'm just trying to be a content creator, an influencer at 42, because I'm just so cool. Lindsay and I were making that video of the Chilbo-Schwaggens. I kept saying, hang on, I'm busy influencing. But every year, Lindsay and my little brother, Lindsay, for those of you that don't know, is my sister-in-law. She's married to my little brother. We stick the kids with my parents and we take a trip down to Orlando. It's only a couple hours away from us. And we go to Volcano Bay and spend the day. And I had this joke. I can't remember if it was just last year or if it was also the year before. And like sometimes the lines are really long and I'll joke. I'll be like, don't they know who I am? And, you know, just to be funny, like, you know, why aren't they like moving? Don't they know who I am? And no, it's like, oh, I'm trying to be an influencer. Don't they know who I am? So I was looking forward to using that line this year as a joke, but then I got laid off on Halloween and we don't get to go this year because money and all. So now I can just say, excuse me, I'm busy influencing. I don't have time to take vacations. I'll read your comments in a sec, guys. I'm like so done with cutting stuff out and I'm on my very last butterfly. So I'm just trying to get this thing finished. Okay. All right, let me go back. Let's see here. I don't think it's important to still be your own person inside a marriage. Oh no, I do think it's important. Yes, absolutely. My grandparents spend all their time on cruises. Yeah. Cat mama, not freeloader. You are going to do that. Yeah, the freeloader thing's just a joke. So funny story. My best friend got laid off about a month, maybe 6 weeks before I got laid off. And it's funny because she and I have been best friends since she was, or I think I was 17, she was 16. And for whatever reason in our lives, no matter what happens, whatever happens to one of us happens to the other one of us, like not long after. So like when my husband broke up with me when we were dating as teenagers, like not long after that, her boyfriend broke up with her. And then like I got married and not long after that, she got married, like it just things like that. So anyway, she got laid off and then of course I get laid off, but it's usually me who goes first. But this time she went first and she was able to get a job before her severance ran out and all that stuff. But we were joking because her husband is a stay-at-home dad. And so we would always joke that he was an unemployed freeloader. And then she got laid off. And so we would always joke now that you're both unemployed freeloaders, you know, and then I got laid off and I'm like, well, looks like I'm an unemployed freeloader too. So anyway, it's all just a joke, but yeah. Need to put video out again. Oh, sounds like fun. Yes, the video at the park. Just wait till you get recognized. Oh, Charlie, if I get recognized, I'm going to die. Oh my gosh. Video vacation. They really get views. I mean, that would be cool. I want to take Lindsay on vacation to be my camera girl and we could like, you know, live it up. Let's see here. Laurel says, we know all about your layoff life. Took hubby almost a year to find a job after layoff. Yeah, it sucks. Like we only have so much forbearance on our student loans and we just like, we're about to be using so we have 6 months. We only have another 6 months. We just got approved for the next 3 months and we only got 3 months after that. Charlie says you're cinched. I don't know what that means. But, all right, you guys, butterflies are butterflying. Let me move this. Figure if I can get like some brand deals in the bag, that would be great, you know? Like, I would love it if some of these brands that I'm doing these Amazon videos for would enjoy my content and maybe buy some of my videos or hire me to do some more videos. But I have been doing Amazon influencer now for almost a month, and I hear after the 1 month mark, your videos have been like fully indexed by Amazon and will start showing up to where you're getting more views, which usually results in like daily sales versus like every few days sales. So I made, I want to say like $18 the first month. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Okay. My chat seems to be very quiet all of a sudden, and I just want to make sure that you guys are still there and can still hear me. So can somebody just type something in the chat? Okay, good. There it is. Suggestion to video on TikTok of a product review to see how that goes. Hang on, this thing's telling me I have been too inactive. Unable to verify, please try again. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is where I'm struggling with TikTok. I have posted some of my video reviews. They're hysterical, but they only get like 100 views. And I don't want to spam all of my TikTok people with my review videos. And the reason is because when I started doing TikTok like a month ago to, well, it's been a little over a month ago now, to try to grow my following so that I could get approved for Amazon influencer, it was doing all this art stuff. And my following has really followed me because I do all these art videos. And what I don't want to do is like a bait and switch where all of a sudden I'm not posting art videos anymore. I'm selling to them all the time. I don't want to sell them to them all the time. I want to create art. I want them to trust me. I want them to love when they see my name pop up in their feed, or love when they see that maybe I am recommending a product because I'm not doing it every single friggin' day. And so when I'm posting these videos of the things that I am putting on there, I'm only posting the funny ones because everybody knows that has been following me for any length of time that I am genuine and I love a good laugh and I love to look stupid. So like, you know, that's kind of my thing. And I would love to just make sure that like when I'm on TikTok, I'm not just sitting here trying to sell to people all the time, because that's not cool. And I know people make a lot of money that way on TikTok, and that's fine. It's just not it feels icky to me. That being said, however, there are a few products on TikTok Shop that I'm going to be making videos for soon. One of which is a swimsuit, actually 2 of which are a swimsuit, because if someone ends up buying it, then I get it for free. And it's a viral swimsuit that I actually really liked. I bought the 2-piece, and then I bought the 1-piece because you can do the whole refundable samples thing. So I figure Florida Jen. Okay, let me just also say this. Florida Jen is not a persona. That is truly who I am. But Florida Jen's videos, like where I look ridiculous in my stupid hat and I do the stupid things in my videos, like I call that the Florida Jen persona because it's more like the uniform, I guess. But like, it's not a persona in that, like, that's not me. That is definitely me. So if you watch those videos, when I refer to the Florida Jen persona, it's not that it's not truly me. It's that that's the type of video I'm referring to doing versus just a typical video where I'm just talking about a product. So the Florida Jen video that I'm going to do for the swimsuit, I haven't planned out just yet because it just came in the mail yesterday, but I'm trying right now on Amazon Influencer through Creator Connections to get a birdhouse and some binoculars, or a bird feeder and some binoculars, so I can do a really stupid video in the backyard about bird watching. It's going to be so funny. So hopefully, you know, I'll get something like that. But those are the kind of things that I want to see. And I started posting some of them to my private Facebook page, like on my friends. And they're like, these are the kind of Amazon reviews we need to see. So I ended up making a Florida Gen Facebook page so that I don't have to spam like my friends and family over there. But it was really, truly just to show them the kind of stupidity that I've been doing for years. The other thing that I think you guys will find funny is that since I was a teenager, and this came up on my Facebook yesterday, my private Facebook, was girl spam us, we don't care. So I was, one of these people is a neighbor of mine, and she's like, girl, you are so funny. I can't with you, or something like that. And I was like, you know, I was thinking about, I don't know why this is like wrapping around this chair. I was trying to remember how far back it went that I started doing stupid videos. Okay, I'm just gonna have to cut that. And the stupid videos go all the way back to when I was in high school. I was in 9th grade and I was in a TV production class, and we had to do this project. And my mom at the time, we had a Chihuahua as a pet. His name was Rico, and he was never potty trained. He peed on everything. And for 15 years, this dog just peed on everything. It was awful. And so I did this video for my mom as a gift for Christmas that was just this cute video montage of, Rico was his name, of him, you know, being cute, and pictures of him, slideshow, all that stuff. And so after that, I just had this idea to create a video that would be stupid humor of Rico basically being this town leader. And my mom had like a bunch of those like statues of Chihuahuas. And then back at the time, speaking of Taco Bell had all those little tiny plushy Chihuahuas that were like keychains and stuff. It was when they had the Yo Quiero Taco Bell. That was like their slogan thing. And so they had all sorts of different plushies, and my mom was always getting those sent to her by her brother. And so we had all these Chihuahuas. And so I had created this video called Yellow Stain. And Yellow Stain was this video where Rico was essentially, they had created these barriers so that he couldn't get to the living room. We had 2 living rooms. We had the formal living room and the regular living room. And so there were these barriers. So he had to stay in the kitchen and, or in my parents' room. And he had like newspapers or pee-pee pads or something he would have to pee on in the kitchen. But he had figured out how to paw them open so he could get into the living room and he would pee. And so the whole video is basically he calls his townspeople, which is these plushies and these statues, and he basically says the humans have, you know, put up these barricades and they must be stopped. So we are going to go and we are going to break down these barricades and we're going to pee everywhere. And that's exactly what they do. And anyway, that was the point of that video. So that one's called Yellow Stain. So then years later, my first year in Chicago, I wanted to create another video that was related to Rico for my mom for Christmas. And my little brother, Kevin, which is Lindsay's husband, came to visit us, and we could not find any. So that one was not for a grade. That one was just for my mom. But I did get a good grade on the Christmas video I made for her of like the little video montage of Rico. So then in Chicago, my little brother came to visit, and we went everywhere to try to find a stuffed Chihuahua or any kind of Chihuahua. Could not find one anywhere except this one store we went into. We found this stuffed animal Chihuahua, but it was a robotic one. And I was like, oh, that'll work. I pick it up. It has a shirt on it that says fetch these. And I was like, what is that? So I'm looking at it. I turn it around. It's got a ball sack this long hanging off its butt. And I was like, oh man, we have found a winner. and it sings, and it says, "How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the big hairy balls." Like, it's so funny. And so we went after that to Target, and we got all these like little tiny figurine things. And one of them came with like a shark that had a black tie around its tail. And at the time, in our family, there's this show we used to watch when we all lived at home called Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was on Cartoon Network under Adult Swim. And it was always super funny, but one of the characters was called Old Kentucky Shark. So we basically get back to our apartment and start doing this ridiculous filming, and I start putting it together. And at that point in time, I started just getting, oh yes, somebody knows what it is. We still watch it sometimes, my husband. So I start putting it together, and I was like coming down with something. Like, I went downhill real quick. I think it was the flu. And like within about an hour, I was so tired, but I had managed to pump out this video. And basically, again, it was a video. We called it Fetch These. And the video was this Chihuahua was tormenting the townspeople by teabagging them. He would come in and teabag the townspeople. And so the leader of the town had to call in Old Kentucky Shark to take care of the problem. And so it then shows Fetch These coming in and teabagging the townspeople. Teabag. So as I mentioned, Fetch These had a giant ball sack, and I don't have a tea bag in here. However, if you can imagine let's pretend this is a tea bag, and this is a ball sack, and this is a townspeople, right? Okay. So he goes, "Oh, yes, I did." And so Old Kentucky Shark comes in and bites off the Fetch These ball sack. And the next part, we didn't actually cut them off because we thought they were hilarious, so we tucked them into the shirt. And for that one, we used the Bee Gees, "Staying Alive." It was hilarious. I'll have to see if I have digital copies of these. I think my parents do, so I'll have to get it from them. Because this was like before, like, you know, this kind of stuff was like popular. Like, I think Facebook was like a thing and MySpace was a thing, but like everything was being burned on CDs back then. So it's not like you just kept a digital file of these. So I'll have to look and see what my parents still have. But anyway, so yeah, then, so those were the videos that really are like the start of my ridiculousness. And so, yeah, and I've made all sorts of stupid ones since then, but those were like the two main ones that kind of started it all. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we need to come up with another one. It's like, it's been years. Rico died in 2010 or 2011. I think it was 2010 because I had just moved back from Chicago. So I think we're overdue for another one. But, oh, I'm sitting here like I have nothing else to do. But we still have plenty to do, guys. And we are going to start on the actual card now. So let me get another piece of paper. On with the card. See, I could just talk about this stuff all day because it's so stupid. Stupidly hilarious. All right, so I want to make a 5x7 card. And to do that, I'm just going to move this because this is driving me crazy. I don't even know that I have a room to move this anywhere, but we're just going to go with it. All right. So 5x7. If I want it to be vertical, then across it needs to be 14. And this is only 12. So I guess it's going to be more like a 4x6. Yeah, it's perfect for TikTok. That's what I'm thinking. None of my stuff goes viral though. All right, and this is like 9 across. So if we wanted to do, you know what? We might just, yeah, no, I don't want it to be 9 inches tall. So if we do this one, we have a 6. We could make it 4, but I feel like that's really short. So what if we did a 6x9? So we'll put this here and we will cut this. And then, oh, you know what? Hang on. I gotta measure it one more time. We'll do, if this is 12, we're gonna bring this down to 6. And I am just gonna put a little line right here, which is gonna be where we fold it. There we go. It's not perfect, but it'll do. There we go. Have a way to do that now, learning from content creator. Oh, yeah. I've been doing the what's it called? The creator insights, creator search insights. Okay, I know you guys can't see this right now because the camera's like not on there, but I'm just getting that line a little bit darker to put in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to bend it like that. And I'm going to use my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. Okay, so we have a card. It's not perfect, but it'll do. All right, so I'm going to start by laying this flat like this, and I'm going to tape it down because we're actually going to make this card pretty too. I never use my tools. I always end up scoring things with my fingernails. That's actually a good idea. Bone folder important if you were doing cards. Yeah. So back when I did live in Chicago, I went to Columbia College, Chicago, while also working full-time for Aetna. And I did take a bookbinding class. That was really fun. And I bought that there. And I've had it ever since. And although I don't use it regularly, it's still fun. It's handy and fun to use when I do have it. Okay, so I'm not going to do the sides because it's not really necessary. And this doesn't need to be even because what we're going to be doing is just kind of splatting. So I'm going to take these. By the way, Charlie, I think you said that you had this same palette. I named this Beth and this Jimothy. So, yeah. You know the good crap. I do know the good crap. It's wonderful. All right, I'm going to move this because it's sweating all over here and I don't want to accidentally get a butterfly in it. Now, let me grab my brush. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay. Yep. I just like that I named him, that I named the little turtle Jimothy. Jimothy is funny to me because I have a 14-year-old who is going to be graduating 8th grade here and going on to high school. And for those of you that have ever had middle schoolers, you know they're weird as crap. And they went through a Jimothy phase, so it reminds me of her. All right, so I just added a little bit more quinacridone gold. This brush is a pointed oval wash number 4 Master's Touch. It's just from Hobby Lobby. It was just like something that I picked up one day. It doesn't need to be this one. I just tend to grab it. I don't know why. You can use any brush. Actually, you know what? Let's use any brush. Probably one of my favorites for, I don't know if you mean that's your favorite or if I should grab my favorite. This is my favorite brush in all the land. This is my Princeton Neptune 3/8. dagger brush. And this one's real good for splattering. So just going to keep the concentration of splatters kind of down here. It most definitely does go everywhere with this brush, which is kind of good and bad, but I like the variety that I get with it. Jimothy's little butt is getting splattered. I do want a little bit up top, so I'm just gonna lightly get some up there, but the majority of it I'm gonna keep down below. All right, and now I'm going to rinse that, grab the Perilene Scarlet, same thing. Just keep some of that concentrated down here, and then raise it just a little bit higher, get some further up here. Get a little bit more water on that brush so we can get some larger splatters. All right, now I'm going to just wipe this down. Timothy! All right, now what I'm going to do is just kind of take that brush while it's wet and just kind of make these little swoopies, I guess you could call them. Swoop-a-doops. I just think they look fun. Apparently my hair also thinks that it looks fun to participate in this. Let's get that out of there. Let me dry this real quick. All right. Now, I know it doesn't look like much yet, but it will. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel this off and then peel this off. Yes, good watercolor brushes are expensive, but they're worth it if you plan on doing watercolor as a more intentional hobby, as in you want more out of it than just you know, doing something here and there with it. So here's what I'm thinking. Something kind of like this. Didn't want to cover up all these swashes, but I'm thinking I'm gonna. And then these are going to be kind of folded open. And then, nice. I don't have any whiskers brushes. I think this is probably my, actually this is my second most expensive brush. I think this one was $40, but my most expensive brush that I never use because it's for murals is this big old honker right here. It's the Princeton Catalyst poly tip bristle flat number 24. It's a big boy. You can see it's like as big as my head. Yeah, I don't remember how much this was. I bought it years ago. So I have some smaller ones that go along with it as well, in case you want to see those. These are my mural brushes, just because they stand up really well to like concrete. This one I apparently didn't clean well enough because it's like, it's hardened. So yeah, so these stand up really well to like concrete and stucco and all that stuff. So there's that. All right, let me grab my glue gun. Plug it in. You can use any adhesive on this that you want, but my glue gun is my preference for now. And while this is heating up, what I'm going to do is grab my pen and nib here. Yeah, exactly. Got the secret to soften dried brushes. Usually I just use like a paint thinner. And then what I'm going to do is grab my gold ink, shake it up. And actually, before I do that, let me grab this, and I'm going to just kind of gently put those there as indicators so I know where these butterflies won't be. And then I'm going to use this to indicate straight lines like this. Hang on, let me try that again. Straight lines. And then probably also what I'll do is bring in this little guy here, and let's make the height no larger than 1.5 centimeters. And I'll just take this and do the same thing here. And then what I'm going to do is write Happy Mother's Day. So let's start here. And I'm just going to write it this way so that all I have to do is trace over it once I get the ink. And see, I already feel like I'm running out of room to write mothers. Yeah. Yeah. Where is my butter eraser? Here we go. I'm so glad you're learning. See, this is where I would normally screw up for my mom, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. Okay, so rather than doing the lines at 1.5 centimeters. Let's bring it down 1 centimeter. And then let's do maybe 1/4 centimeter between them. And then do another 1 centimeter. And then we'll do 1/4 centimeter between them. And then 1 centimeter. I don't normally do centimeters. It's just easier to look at right now. So don't mind me. I'm not British. Or really any other part of the world that uses that system. All right. Dang it. These might not be. Okay, they are. Never mind. Okay. Grab this. Okay. So now let's take this and do happy. Probably need to move that over a little bit. Actually, I have a better idea. And this is why it's good to draw it first in graphite. So I think what I'll do is actually make Mother's Day larger. Maybe this one goes below the line. Mother's. And then maybe happy is in lowercase. And a little spaced apart. And then day is the same. Although I don't like the spacing here. And I'm thinking, maybe shifting the mothers down just a little bit. I wanted to do something a little fancier with this. Oops, let me move that away. Tell you what, we're gonna take this and this. All right, so we'll do something like this. Ugh, that looks awful. There. Mothers. And then maybe we do this here. So happy. And then like that. And then we'll make this just a little bit smaller and we'll move it up a hair. Day. Yep. Something like that, I think. All right, let me see. Yes, Hallmark has a card program for years. So method, okay. I like kneaded. I don't like kneaded erasers. I know people love kneaded erasers. I have never liked them. Scrap paper. Yeah, I could do it, but I just don't care that much. Good morning, Feral Mom. How are you this morning, Miss Lori? I can't say a link here. Oh, yeah, because you know how they are. Okay, so let me just make these a little more even here, and then I think we'll be good to go. I'm just gonna bring this back in over here. And then let's actually do that one more time up here. Okay. Yeah, and actually this eraser I think I got when I was in college up at Columbia College as well. Could be wrong, but I think that's where I got this. All right, so we're gonna go with this. There we go. Happy Mother's and then Day. I think we'll scooch that down just a little bit. Yeah, and they leave like a stick on my hands that I don't like. I'm weird about stick on my hands. I don't like sticky stuff on my hands. You're so sweet. You guys are very sweet. Okay, there we go. Now I think we're ready. So let me mix this up again. And I'm gonna bring in my little stirring stick. I know I shook it, but the stirring stick really helps. Now usually what I have to do with this one when it gets down really low like that is bring in a little fluffy brush like this and paint it. Paint the ink on here, front and back. And then I will definitely take a scrap piece of paper here and get the ink flowing because sometimes it blobs, which I can tell it's about to do on the back there. I know you probably can't see it. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. A bit. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that it's about to blob, but there's a blob there. There it is. And now it's gonna write a little nicer. So I'm gonna start here and go H. A. P. P. Y. Now, I'm not sure if there's enough left on here for me to be able to do Mother's Day, or Mothers, so I'm going to go ahead and reload it just for good measure. And again, going to go over here to this scrap paper Just kind of make sure it's not going to blob, and I can tell it's about to. So I'm just going to kind of help gravity do its thing. Okay, and now I'm going to do mothers. Ugh, why? Come on, gravity. Okay. Bring this back around. Seriously. Come on. Okay, so got that. Just gonna go over this again. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna move this because it's starting to get full and I don't want to accidentally get my card on it. Trying to help it flow, but it's not wanting to. There we go. Okay. Ah, of course it would run out right as I'm doing the middle of the S, which is the best part. Okay, let's try that again. So close. I think the ink is drying on this, which is making it harder to flow. There we go. And D, A, Y. Okay, we did it. We made it. We lasted. Yeah, this gold can be tricky to work with the finer nib especially. But alas, we made it. Okay, I'm going to put these in here, close this up, move these under here so that they dry and don't accidentally get on this as I move it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the heat gun so we can start erasing the graphite underneath it. And then gluing on these butterflies. All right, I think that's it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to carefully erase. And I'm going to let it dry just a little bit longer just in case. But I wanted to get that out of the way. I do want to show you guys one thing that I meant to actually show you before now. So this is the 0.8 millimeter ZSCM white gel pen that Lori turned me on to, who is Feral Mom. And what I want to show you is one thing that you could also do on some of these butterflies is just make some doodles to bring in some visual interest. So you could do something like this. And then you can take it and decide where you want it to go. So, me too. So from here, you can take your glue gun. Did I not even turn? Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't even turn it on. Why am I so dumb? Okay, so let's lay these out. They don't all need to have a design on them, but let's lay these out while we're waiting. I thought this was already turned on and all I had to do was plug it in. Evidently, I was wrong. Okay, so when I lay these down, if it were to be fully open, it would look like this. Now, if this was going to go into like a, so I don't like Sakura pens. I have them, but Lori turned me on to these and they are the best things ever. Yeah, it's on now. And so when it goes into an envelope, it's going to need to sit flat like this. So I need to make sure that all of these butterflies are spaced in such a way that when they're flat, they can overlap without a problem. So I think what we're going to do is go 3 across like this. But let me see if this were to come up like this. I think that would still work well. Okay, so we'll start there. Let's do a couple more doodles. And I'll do this one. I think for this one, we'll do maybe like a circle here and here and here and here. And then let's see here, we'll just do something like this. And let's see. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. No rhyme or reason. There we go. And then maybe this one up here will have one. Let's see here. This one can, I don't know. I need to look at a butterfly. I actually was just looking at a bunch of monarchs videos. Can hear the pen against the paper. Could do gold too. Gold doodle. Got to try those gel pens. Yeah, the thing that I love about these gel pens, and I was showing somebody the other day, I don't know if I still have the thing. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. So I actually showed a difference right here between the gel pens. So this is the ZSCM gel pen. This was the Sakura gel pen. This was the Pentel gel pen. And this was the U brand gel pen. So, but yeah, this one is so nice. It doesn't leave that pushed aside like ball look in there. Yes. They're in my storefront if you want to check them out. I might even add some dots to these because you guys know I love my dots. The downside to these is that you can't order them like one at a time. You have to order them in a 5-pack with some markers that suck, but you get 2 of them. So that's nice at least. I was skeptical too. I know, I hate when companies do that too. Uh-huh. Oh, so Lori is here. Look at Lori. Okay, shoot. Trying to give you the credit, girl. Thought you was gone. Thanks, Gail. Let's see here. For this one, how about we just do something similar, and I'll just make like a big one like this. And then down here, I'll just make one big one. Now, Lori has more experience with the ZSCM gel pens than I do, but I would love to get my hands on all their colors because they are really pretty, and I really love this white one. I have a company, I don't think it's this one, that's sending me some black ones to try. But it was through the Amazon Creator Connections. I haven't gotten them yet. I don't know when I'm supposed to get them. It might be the same company. I don't know. But, you know, the expense and all. But yeah, I was skeptical, but now I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, the retractable ones are the ones you were telling me about. I think Lori could speak to that better than I can. All right, so I'm just getting some of this glue on here. And again, I'm going to open up the wings just to make sure I place it properly. But I don't want to press the wings down because I don't want the glue to get on the under part of the wings and glue it to where it can't stay open. So that looks good to me. I'll probably go in and add a little bit of gold to it once it's dry. But I think this looks good so far. And we'll go in with this one next. Actually, I want to replace it with this one because this one I cut a little bit weird. Let me see. They do not. I have every set they make. Never had an issue. Loving the card. Oh, me too. All right, so now I'm going to just put a little bit more on here. And I'm going to move this out of the way. Again, I'm going to open it and just kind of eyeball it and press it down. Leaving it open so that, again, you don't glue these down. This one I should probably draw on. Maybe this one should scooch. Oh, I can't scooch it, so never mind. Because, well, maybe my mom doesn't get it in an envelope, so there. Okay. Yeah, I guess those are going to overlap, so these can overlap. All right, let's draw on this one really quick. What did I just do with the pen? I think I put it back. Let's take this and we'll do this. And let's just do something like this. I don't know. I'm just making it up at this point. And then we'll just, again, add some dots. Only going to add dots on the bottom. Well, yeah, I'll just go all the way around here. There. All right. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to glue the back of this one. And take this. Sort of like stacking Russian dolls, yeah. And I'll put this one here. And hope for the best. Yep. Okay. Now this one's going to go here. There we go. And this one's going to go next to it. And then this one is going to go right here. Come out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry. While that's happening, I'm going to erase back this graphite. Turn this around. All right. I'll bring this in closer for you to see. Isn't that so pretty? Yeah. Kind of feel like I want more butterflies on the front. But, like I said, the original plan was to put this in an envelope. So these were going to have to lay flat. So it feels a little sparse on the butterflies. Maybe we can, oh no, did he come? Oh no, he didn't. Wait, did he? Yeah, he came off. I don't think I put enough glue on him. Let me just make sure these other guys are on here pretty well. Okay. I'm wondering if we couldn't maybe pop these off and move them and put a few more in between like this. What do you guys think? Thanks, me too. You think we should try to put some more in between like that? I know it won't be even with the doodles, but I don't care. Maybe something like that. Let me know your thoughts. Should I add more? Everybody got all quiet. Let's see. I'm going to add him to be closer, because I want more butterflies. And as Charlie said, you can't have too many. A skew placement, huh? So maybe like move him up a little bit. Well. Okay, sounds good, Lori. I guess rub your job in my face and all. It's a joke for those of you who are new here. Normally I love the idea of skewed, but this has been going on now for over 2 hours and I'm hungry. And I do have other things to do today. And I love my mom, but I think she'll like this anyway. All right, let's grab this one. And we'll put this one right here. There we go. I'm going to tear this one off. Thank you. Yeah. Would have done it differently, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, I was supposed to call somebody that needed to ask me something around 10:30. I told her my live would be over around then. Turns out that was a lie. What is that, Mari Povich? Or no, I forget the guy's name. I thought it was Mari, but no, I think Mari's the guy with the weird mustache. Or maybe there's two guys named Mari. Okay. I know there isn't a second one here. I wonder if I could squeeze one down here. Yeah, I think I can. I was going to put one on the inside too. It was Ow! Oh, it was Geraldo. That's who I was thinking of. Yes, you're right. It was Mari. Geraldo's the one with the weird mustache. There we go. That's probably overdoing it there. All right, it's a little weird, but we'll go with it. Yeah, me too. But you know, they still have the memes that are going around. There's like, turns out that was a lie, or you are not the father. These are cute. Okay, to the inside, you can do whatever you want with. Probably put a butterfly on the inside, maybe paint just a little bit on the inside. And then on the back, I would just sign my name at the bottom. And then, of course, write my sentiment on the inside as well. But aside from that, I think that's it. What you guys think? Yup. Wait. Add some gold to some of these, maybe. Thank you. Like I said, could have been a little better. Where's yours? Depends. When did you make it? That's where yours is. I do wish there was something right here just to kind of top this part off, because I do feel like it's a little lonely. But I don't know, maybe I could make like a teeny butterfly that's kind of like flying. I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide some other time when I'm not hungry and, you know, my brain doesn't think straight when I'm hungry. So anyways, oh, Lenny G's back. What do you think, Lenny G? Inflows. Yeah, I kind of want to put something up here, but I'm going to decide on that later. And, yeah. Looks like you're not going to be the favorite anymore on Mother's Day, Lenny G. What are we doing for lunch? You tell me, boo. I'm starving. And then, again, put your name back here. And then we're going to put one of these bad boys in here. Probably the yellow one, because she likes red and yellow. Might design a little bit on the inside too. But aside from that, we got us some butterflies. So cute. Taco Bell. Well, I know Lindsay doesn't go on break till noon. I ain't waiting till noon to eat something. I got to eat something. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Coffee, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Kavas. Actually, Chipotle kind of sounds good. I never want Chipotle. So Colby would be so mad if I told him I wanted Chipotle. Girl, I ain't got no money. You could put a Chihuahua picture or sticker on the inside. Cancel Colby. That's also a joke. We want to cancel my husband. Even though he's the afternoon snack. If you saw the video from yesterday. Yeah. I should tell Colby to go bring lunch. Yeah, he's probably going to eat leftovers because he went grocery shopping yesterday. So, anyways. All right, everybody. This has been fun. Oh, I just thought of something else you guys can do. Yeah, he's working from home today. You could also line the wings with gold ink. Just a thought. Just a thought. You all have a wonderful day as well. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. See ya.